Hey, good morning. Welcome to Cup of Water. This is day 43. And if you have been following along for the last 43 days, I just want to give you a heads up. We're going to take a hiatus for the next 12 days. I'm going to be traveling in China, and I'm just not sure what the availability of internet service and the ability to actually access some video editing and things like that. So that does not mean quit reading the Word. That means just the opposite. Dig in. Dig in. See what God has for you. Okay? And today, though, we're going to look at the book of John, and we're going to look at chapter 9. And I want to read you a couple verses today. And we're just going to start in verse 1. It says, "As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, 'Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?' 'Neither this man nor his parents sinned,' said Jesus," in verse 3. "But this happened so the work of God might be displayed in his life." That the work of God might be displayed in his life. And, I just look back at the past year, the past couple years, and honestly, there's been some tough things. There really has. With some extended family, personally, in our own family, people I know, and just like you. I know each of us walk through some tough seasons. But I think about this verse in chapter 9. It says, so that the work of God might be displayed in his life. And isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? That the work of God might be displayed? I don't understand why bad things happen to good people, why good things happen to bad people. Just however you want to phrase it, I don't understand all those things. And I don't think anybody does on this side. But I do know this, that the work of God might be displayed. I was thinking back to a lunch I had on a previous trip in China. And I was talking to this man who really has this great circle of influence. And I asked him, I said, "How did you come to Christ?" And he said this. He said, "I was born paralyzed. When I was about 30, a woman from the church came and laid hands on me and prayed, and I could walk." And I could walk. And I'm thinking, this is John 9 right in front of me. And I was blown away. I was blown away by this man's testimony. And the way he handled this with such humility. He realized this isn't anything he did. He wasn't deserving, but God intervened so that the work of God might be displayed in his life. So for you today, here we are, we're on Sunday, the Lord's Day. And I just think, God, how can the work of God be displayed in my life? How can that be displayed in my life? Am I really open to allowing God to work, to do whatever he wants to do in my life, or am I dictating it? Have I created this life map with a life coach and have this life plan, and that's how it's going to be? Or am I really submitting myself to God? Whatever you ask, I will obey. I will follow you, so that your work might be displayed in my life. And honestly, people, that's a tough one. It really is, to lay it all down. I know we just talked about that in Luke yesterday with Peter. "Because you said so, I'll do it." But I want to come back to that idea. This is about God. This life I live is not about me. The life you live is not about you. As much as we want to make it that way, me included, it's not. This is the God of heaven. The God that put the planets in motion, that put the stars in place, that created you. He created me, and he deserves glory. Let today be that day that you honestly lay it down before him, and you just say, "God, this life I live is yours." I love that verse in Galatians where it just says, "I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live." People, let that be your heart's cry. If you've never put your faith in Christ, today might be that day to die to yourself and say, God, I've been living my life for myself for X number of years. Today, I want to live my life for you. I want to exchange ownership papers. For those of you that have been following Christ, that have made that commitment to Christ, maybe today's that day that you need to start waving the white flag and saying, Lord, I surrender. I give up. I am yours. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can coach you through it. This is about you sitting before the throne of God, saying, this life I live is yours. God, I will do anything. I'll go anywhere, at any time. Whatever you ask of me, Lord, let my heart's cry be to say yes. To say yes. That's your cup of water. I'll see you in about 12 days. God bless you today. Surrender.